Hi everyone, welcome to this reading. I have my crystal ball off to the side, so I will be scrying throughout this message. If you're new to my channel, my readings are a little different, and if you're turning, welcome back. You know how we do if it doesn't resonate with you, if you're forcing the story to fit, arguing with it in any way, just leave it behind for the people who it's meant for. So, channel members, your next High Priestess video will post this weekend. If you're part of the Magicians or High Priestess Tier, your live is today at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here on YouTube. One more thing. There's one more thing. Oh yes, 30th of October, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time over Zoom. There is an event between myself and iScry with Steph. We're doing the HEKATE Halloween. If you're interested in joining us for channeled messages from this goddess, the link will be in the description box below. Okay, I think that's it. Alright, let's get started. Taking a step aside. And allowing spirit to pass through me. Opening up to receive information. Okay, right off the bat, made me feel like a finger pointing. You. And I'm seeing the sweepstakes. You have been selected. You are the lucky winner. And then I'm seeing a person. I'm seeing a red thread, and that red thread is connected to a target. So it's almost this message of, oh, and okay, it's moving fast now, so I'm going to start talking fast. Whoever this message is for, the universe has selected you due to your ancestral lessons, due to your individual lessons, due to the things that you've learned, experienced, had to heal from, the things that you've undergone in life, spiritual or otherwise, that have crafted you into the vessel that you are, the person that you are, with a particular skill set, with a particular set of spiritual abilities, with a particular adopted identity, okay? All of these things are required for whatever it is that you feel or that you will find that your purpose is. But we're stuck in some way because we may either A, not be walking on that path yet, the path of action, or B, we're walking on the path of action, we're holding on to an identity or a purpose that isn't actually true for us, okay? How you're going to know this is because you keep getting stuck. Okay, so this message is applicable to both parties, but I'm going to focus on one, okay? I'm going to focus on speaking the language as though people haven't gotten onto this path and taken the action yet, okay? But you can still use this reading if you're over here. So, I'm feeling a lot of anxiety and fear coming from this group. And it's, what if I pick the wrong thing? What if I do the wrong thing? That's always, always, yes. Yes, most of you will. And that's okay, right? The path to things is never straight in the spiritual journey. It's not meant to be. This is why, let's see, can we find a path? This is why in the Major Arcana, the path is very rarely straight. It's usually very crooked, right? I'm not going to waste time here. You can see it inside the Moon card, for example. In the Temperance card, it kind of curves gently towards that mountain with the sovereignty, meaning even from the point of Temperance to that final point of sovereignty that we see with the World card, it's still kind of a curve. We're still going a circumnabulous way, right? But here with the Moon card, what we see is we see that it's very curved because there's things that we don't know. But the point is that you're still on the path, right? Every single time you realize, wow, like this didn't work out. How do I go back to the drawing board and bring more of myself out? Then you curve over here, and then you do a little bit more, and then you curve over here. And sometimes you're going to feel like that was a failure. That was a failure. I'm really disappointed. Don't get caught up in that storyline. What you're doing is you're learning. You're learning all the things that you need to learn in this experience and that experience. You weren't meant for those trajectories. You were meant to learn from that particular experience these things that create deeper self-love, deeper self-awareness, and a deeper sense of sovereignty so that you can become the vessel or the operant that is worthy of this thing, that is basically able to handle this thing, right? If I didn't go to school for higher sciences, I wouldn't be able to talk about a lot of the things that I talk about with you guys in a grounded way. I needed that experience of going, having a 4.0 cumulative GPA, and then having the door slammed in my face because life lifed me, right? I needed that experience because I wasn't meant to go down that trajectory. I was meant to be right here, right? And maybe in 5 years, I won't be meant to be right here anymore. And all of this will have been an experience for the next thing that I need to do, right? And maybe that next thing isn't going to be the thing either. Maybe there will be a failure or a door slam there and it's going to navigate me over here. I'm good with that. I'm cool with that. Because this is what happens. This is what we're built for, right? If you happen to land on something and that's what you do forever and you help a bunch of people and you're happily ever after, that's amazing. But some of us, actually all of us, you can look back in your life and you can see that all those dreams you went after that were just a door slam. What did you learn there? If you haven't been taking stock of what you learned in that experience, then you need to start doing that. Because there are things that your soul, that your mind, that your body learned in those experiences. Maybe it traumatized you. Maybe you had to heal yourself. You had to learn how to heal that, right? Maybe you had to learn how to ask for help to heal that. That's all part of the experience, is gathering tool sets, or skill sets, tools inside your toolbox, because you need that toolbox to build the thing, right? So whoever this message is for, it's very much this feeling that the universe is calling you out and being like, hey, you're being called to get on the path of your purpose. You're being called to enact your purpose. You don't need all the answers, because those answers for many of you aren't there, right? This is something that's coming out a lot in this collective. I've been getting asked this question quite a bit. And, I always say I can't answer that for you. I think it's really irresponsible when a reader tries to set themselves up to know what your divine purpose is. I think that's very arrogant. I'm not even going to be quiet about it. I think that's fucking arrogant. And the other one is that I think that when we are looking for those answers, what we're really doing is we're robbing ourselves of the journey that's preparing us for that thing. Right? So whoever this message is for, just put one foot in front of the other. Get on that path to your purpose. You might have a generalized idea like, okay, this is what I'm passionate about. Let me try this. And then you learn more about that thing and you learn more about yourself through that process. You don't have to have this fixed thing. Now, I will address the other camp. If you're already doing this and you just keep receiving roadblocks, ask yourself, what more of myself am I not expressing? It's not, what do I need to go out and get certification for? Though some of you it might be, right? What else do I need to learn? Chances are what you're destined for is something you're already doing. It's something you've already been doing the whole entire time. You might have moments in your life where you're not doing a lot of it. You might have moments where, like, you're doing a shape of it, right? But for example, if you're somebody that you got into healing modalities and you just are obsessed with healing and you do Reiki on yourself every day and you do all these things, chances are it's something along that trajectory, right? Well, exactly what does it look like? How do I go about it? Figure it out. Figure it out. I'm sorry, but life is like that. You got to figure shit out, right? The answers can't be handed to you. You can't wait forever waiting for that answer to be handed to you, because it's not coming, sweetie. You got to figure it out, right? And how do we figure it out? It doesn't mean sit still until you figure it out. It means start doing the thing. Allow life to help you. Allow life to guide you. Let the opportunities come. But those opportunities that are going to pull you in the right direction will never come if you don't create the building for the doors to open. Okay. I just want to say I love that this message is coming out right now, because, I've been saying it over and over on this channel, next spring. It's very important to the energy of the collective. Okay, so I love that this message is coming out now, because what it means is some of you are really feeling that urge and you're having the motivation to do it. Just do it, right? Just do it. You can always change the details of it later. You can always decide to do something a little bit different. You can evolve it as you go, right? This is not my first tarot channel. The subliminal channel was the tarot channel. When I first started that tarot channel, I wasn't doing messages from spirit. I was just doing tarot. And that's why it wasn't working out for me, because there's more to me than just that. I wasn't sharing what I know on that channel. Right? And so it's only when I stepped into all of that, right? Because I'd been a teacher when I was younger, of occult topics. I didn't do that on the channel. And it wasn't until I started doing that things kind of took off. I had to become more of myself. Right? And this is really what this path is about, and this is why it winds. You have to be more of yourself, okay? Yeah, someone's definitely stuck in their head here with the the 8 of Swords being very stuck inside your head. And for some of you, it is disappointment. When we have this 5 of Pentacles, it's like we feel left out. For some of you, you feel a little disappointed because maybe your family ridicules you for what you do, and maybe your friends ridicule you for what you do. A prophet is never accepted in their hometown. That's a quote from the New Testament, right? And this is very, very true. Your family will probably never accept what you do, right? If your family is like that, they're probably never going to accept. Your friends are probably going to look at you cross-eyed and be like, ugh, you know, I've always been weird. My family, you know, I've been this way since I was a child, right? My family got to have some really weird experiences after I came into the mix. But even though they know all this and they respect that I do it, you know, I'm not going to my family and saying half of what I know. Like, they would never get received very well. My friends are different, but my friends have always known that I was born this way, right? Some of you, whatever it is that you're trying to do, you've come into it and you developed a passion for it and you started to really like it, and people don't know you that way, right? Don't force that identity onto other people. They're never going to accept it. So, you know, don't worry about your friends and family. What you're trying to offer isn't necessarily something for your friends and family. For some of you, it might be. So if you feel like left out or abandoned, or you're afraid of being rejected, you don't have to tell people. You don't have to tell people. Ask me how many times I actually talk to my father about what I do. He knows I do it. We don't talk about it. We don't talk about it, right? Most of my family has no idea what I'm doing. And that's okay. I don't want them to. They don't need to know. It's none of their business, right? They couldn't conceive of it. If you are worried about what your family's going to think, what people are going to think, you're going to spend the rest of your life worrying what people think about you, and you're never going to be happy with yourself. And that's who you have to answer to at the end of the day, right? You need to be happy with what you're doing. So if that's what you're worried about, you know, look at your priorities, I guess. Look at your priorities, right? Who is it that you're really living your life for? Who should you be living your life for? Now, some of you, again, you may have had disappointments in the past. Don't let your past disappointments dictate your actions for the future, right? Again, when we adopt those disappointments, closed doors, roads that didn't go anywhere as, oh, the end goal was closed off to me, there's a perspective shift that has to happen there. Those things weren't meant for you to follow those trajectories. Those were learning points. They were experience points, right? That failed marriage, there's probably some things about how much you need to love yourself that was in there. There's probably some things about your personal power that were in there. There's probably some things about how to spot red flags and liars that were in there. You know, whatever the case is, you learned something, right? Okay. It's all a process of alchemy. So, you know, we talk about that a lot with the Lover's card on this channel. We talk about the process of alchemy that's taking place. You can see their faces. You can see they're there. You know, we have salt, sulfur, mercury, and then we have this mountain that's between them. This is the process of dissolution, the process of being broken down in a particular way. But the mountain in the Major Arcana really signifies a spiritual climb, right? The spiritual climb. In later cards, we see it as the Judgment. If you are familiar with the Judgment card, it's the man and woman again, the same man and woman. And between them, instead of the mountain, they have the child. If you're familiar with alchemical symbol, the child is the Philosopher's Stone. And so what it's saying is that that elixir of immortality, our vitality, our truth, our spiritual product is created by walking this mountain. It's the obstacles, right? It's the different processes that are circumnavigating through various areas of our life. It's not a straight road. And it's only by being willing to go through all the curves and all the trials and tribulations and the things that may go wrong and the changes you might have to take and the adjustments you might have to make that you actually get the thing, right? And this is because you have to learn how to have all the cups filled, right? All the skill sets, all the knowledge, all the information that you need for this particular thing. If you're somebody that holes away in your house, but you're trying to help people, how do you relate to people? Do you still feel like you hate people? Then you don't have the tool set required to help people, right? And this is why the universe wants you to get on a path where you start doing the thing and you start to cultivate that love. You start to socialize more. You start to, if that's what you're being called to do, right? You might start socializing more. You might start, understanding and empathizing with people more, having more compassion for people. Maybe you're being called to write something. It's only by actually writing it and sucking at it that you're going to learn how to write so that you can reach the most people, or that you learn about niche and you learn about your audience, right? Trial and error is the way to create the profound object, to create this sort of our symbolic philosopher's stone here, the target that we're going for, the path that we're meant for. Some people fall into that, right? It's very interesting. I've met a lot of people who have fallen into their purpose, and behind closed doors, when I have conversations with a lot of people who kind of fell into it early on in their life, a lot of people really want to do something else. They're doing the thing and it's working out for them, but they really want to do something else. And, who's to say that that's right or wrong? I'm not saying that it is. I'm just saying that this idea that we have that it's supposed to just suddenly appear and everything's going to be miraculous, this is a pipe dream, right? For most people, this is a pipe dream. And so you have to cultivate the ability to put one foot in front of the other and accept that that road is being carved out as you walk. You're the one carving out that road. So if you have a generalized idea of what it is that you want to do, find a way to get involved in that. Find a way to start that, right? Obviously, many of you are going to be doing that for money. Some of you may be feeling stuck because you don't have money to start. Ask yourself if you really need that, right? Some of you don't actually need that. We may have some expectations and some limiting beliefs that cause us to feel like we need it. For example, I knew a girl that was very, very skilled at healing modalities, and she had people that wanted to host her, but she was convinced that in order to be accepted by the, higher ups or whatever, she had to have all this certification, and she didn't have the money to get the certification. So rather than doing the thing that she was created to do, for this moment anyway, she just hasn't done anything, and 10 years have gone by, right? And she could have helped a lot of people. She could have done something that really made her feel valuable inside of herself, and instead she's just always had conflict with herself, and she hasn't done it. And don't be that person, right? Don't let yourself stand in your way. Allow yourself to get involved. Allow yourself to do the thing, even if it's in small ways. If you're an artist and you have no idea where to start small. Make a little painting, put it on eBay, right? Start small. Make a painting, see if some shop around you would take it. If you are somebody who, you want to help people and you don't know where to start, volunteer somewhere. The things that we want to do with ourselves and our time, they're not as difficult as we make them. Sometimes our minds, they're limited inside of this small box, and we think it has to happen this way. If you're a musician, start uploading things to YouTube, right? Okay. So I'm going to leave this here. I feel like this is the entirety of the message. The universe is calling you to step into your purpose. Okay. And whoever this message is for, just understand that that purpose doesn't have to be fully formed when you start. These things often aren't. So if this resonates for you, feel free to leave me a comment. And until next time.